Hello everybody, this is Fronto Bobbin here, and welcome to race number 19 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the TasNetworks 350 at Baskerville Raceway. While we're still in Australia, we've now left the main continent to race on the island of Tasmania. With what we've seen so far since leaving the States, what will we see today? Well, we're about to find out. Now, pit road here is very small, so only a limited number of drivers can race. For this track, that limit has been capped at 21, so it comes with a rather unique format to narrow down the field. We'll start with two group qualifying sessions. All 41 drivers will go on to the fastest lap time possible over the two sessions. Based on how fast each driver is, they will be placed in one of 5 races, this being the main event or one of 4 qualifying races. The top 16 fastest drivers from qualifying will fast track to the main event, whereas everyone else will be placed based on their time. The top 2 fastest drivers will each earn 5 championship points. Once everyone has set a time, we'll run the qualifying races. Each race will increase in number of drivers and laps as we go on. The highest finishing drivers in each race will progress into the following race. This varies from race to race, so I'll go into more detail about it when applicable. A couple more things to note: the winner of the C main will earn 1 championship point, and the winner of the B main will earn 3 championship points. Once all that is done, the main event will commence. I know this is a pretty complicated format, but we have to be as fair and interesting as possible when narrowing down the drivers until we know who's the fastest. So with that being said, let's begin. Here we go for the first of 2 group qualifying sessions today. In this one we have Quinn Half, Ryan Newman, Daniel Six, Rebecca, Bob Wallace, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Sallins Jr., Austin Dillon, Bridget, Tim Tom, Alex Bowman, Matt DeBandino, Denny Hamlin, Eric Amarola, Bank Coach, Douglas Kumpor, Chris Busher, and Joey Logano. Alright, 20 cars to qualify, 20 cars to go fast here at Baskerville Raceway. This race will definitely be, or this qualifying session will definitely be interesting. It's a pretty treacherous track. It's only 1.25 miles, but doesn't make it any less crazy. We got 10 minutes for 20 drivers to make a lap. So it's going to be interesting to see. Oh dear, as Douglas drives off the track a bit. It's going to be interesting to see how fast everyone's going to be once the session is over. So Ricky Sallins Jr. first one to set a lap time. 57.872. Oh, as Rebecca slides off the track a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite the busy qualifying session with all these cars. Sallins Jr. actually getting a bit of a, sort of a little bit of a battle with Rebecca for some reason. Not sure why we're already racing. I mean, this isn't even about who can finish cross-race line first. This is, you know, who can be the fastest. So right now Logano with the fast time of 49.424. That's more like it. Ultimately, though, this all depends on who's the fastest by the time the session ends. It's gonna go by pretty fast, though, so really want to be quick about setting a lap time. Ricky Sallins Jr. has actually been quite speedy in this session. As overdrives that corner. Oh dear, overdrives this corner as well. This driver's having a little bit of a hard time getting around the track, and Ricky Sallins Jr. having a very hard time with Rebecca here. So now Joey Logano, the fastest driver in this session. Which, I mean, Logano is kind of good at this qualifying thing, you know, as we saw from Daytona. Quite a bit of a wad of cars here. And Bank Coach is right to the top of the board. Oh, Austin Dillon to the top of the board. Holy moly. Where did Austin Dillon get so good? That's quite something. And Austin Dillon overdrives the track. Oh, dearie me. What's up with Austin Dillon and overdriving the track? Fast in the session, though. So, I mean, that's quite something. Jimmy Johnson in second as well. Of course, the main goal, though, in this session is to drive as fast as you can. There's a couple more drivers, though, still get set a lap time. Christopher Bell now to the top of the board. Wow. You know, Christopher Bell, he's been struggling quite a bit this season, so let's see if now he can redeem himself. Same for Brian Coaches. Brian Coaches, he's had 2 trash finishes in a row. So he's like trying to make up, make up the ground. The points got nice lost. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job of that, and so far in 4th in qualifying. Remember, the top 8 makes the race itself. So Bank Coach right now in a pretty safe position, actually. And Tim Tom now at the top of the board. Bank Coach also moves up to 3rd. But Tim Tom now at the top of the board. Oh no, I select Gridrin, who's actually very slow right now, but Tim Tom top of the board. Alright, so Tim Tom now trying to pick up where he left off a couple weeks ago at Sandown. That being said, though, just because you're fast to qualify doesn't mean you'll be fast in the race. Next thing, the drivers with more laps are the faster drivers. Looks like everyone has now set a lap in this session. Some drivers are definitely faster than others. But Tim Tom, so far the fastest driver in this session. Also doing a pretty good job at staying up here as well. And Jimmy Johnson in 7th. You know, if you can finish, or if you can qualify in the top 8, you have a pretty good shot at doing pretty well today. And below that, however, ooh, you got some work to do. Oh, Tim Tom doesn't really do well on this lap. He's still the fastest car in the session. But for how much not kicking the title up. Bud Wallace, meanwhile, not having the best of days and 14th fastest car. He's got quite a bit of work to do once the main races start. So we have 3 minutes left in the session. And Tim Tom hasn't quite been able to improve his lap time, but that's okay. And Christopher Bell as well, he's been quite impressive in this session. 2nd fastest driver. And Rebecca. Oh, Austin Dillon, though, to the top of the board. Wow, Austin Dillon with a mighty fast car in this session. And let's take a look at Rebecca. Rebecca. Oops, I said Rebecca. Quite impressive to see her in 6th. Because Rebecca, she's been struggling. Ooh, dear Lord, she's about to pick up the pace a little bit. Otherwise, she's going to get sent down to the B main. Bank Hoag's actually right now in the final transfer spot to make it straight to the A main. So Bank Hoag's, he was up there, but he's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit if he wants to stay in the top 8. Quite impressive to see Austin Dillon fastest in this session, though. So Austin Dillon, who almost won the Daytona 500, is now fastest in this qualifying session. That's actually kind of impressive. Yeah. Never would have expected Austin Dillon to be the fastest in this entire session. Oh, here's Bank Coaches, who's getting caught up by Austin Dillon. And Bank Coaches right now, oh, he's in a pretty dangerous spot actually. Might be close to missing the B main. All that being said, missing the A main, and might be going to the B main. That being said, however, even if he makes the B main, still has a bit of a good shot at making the main event. That's if he can, finish high enough in the B main. But Austin Dillon, as of right now, the fastest driver in this entire session. Kind of impressive, considering Austin Dillon has been the fastest driver this year. Maybe it's that Freightliner power. All drivers not quite being able to set fast lap times than they have been. So as we are 10 seconds remaining in this session, looks like now everyone is officially locked into their positions. But Austin Dillon, quite impressively, is the fastest driver in this session. So that'll be quite good for him. As this qualifying session is about to come to an end. Meanwhile, Bank Coaches is just barely gonna make it into the A main. So at least, as long as they're good in the main event itself, then he hasn't actually got too much to worry about. Looks like Eric NROL, though, it might not get him at the last minute. So Bank Coaches has been the best driver of the season. Is now fast tracking it to the A main with the speed. Anyway, as group qualifying session number 1 is about to come to an end, I'll definitely be interested to see where everyone places. Alright, qualifying session is over. This qualifying session is over. So if we look at the qualifying, you have Austin Dillon, who is the fastest in the section, with Tim Tom in second, Christopher Bell third, Jimmy Johnson fourth, Ryan Newman fifth, Alex Bowman sixth, Rebecca seventh, and Bank Coach saying, "What is that? Ryan Newman and Alex Bowman and all these other guys that are usually slow up here in the top 8." I just realized, wow, that's something quite impressive. So those 8 are going to be into the A main. As for everyone else, you got Eric NROL at 9th, Bo Wallace 10th, Douglas 11th, Klimport 12th, Denny Hamlin 13th, Chris Buescher 14th, Ricky Stutzler 15th, Joe Legon 16th, Matt Benedetto 17th, Daniel 6th 18th, Richard 19th, and Quinn Half in 20th. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the guys do in their qualifying races that come before the A main. But we'll see how those guys do in just a little bit. But before that, we need to bring on qualifying session number 2. Here we go for group qualifying session number 2. So in this one we have Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer, Mia, Kyle Larson, Oliver, Donald, Eric Jones, Russell David, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Felix Boxner, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Percy, Ryan Preece, Martin Sr., Brett Kelsey, Doug, Frank DeBobbin, and Ryan Blaney. Alright, so these guys are some of the faster ones from this season. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare in this session. Eric Jones, one of the first drivers out in this session. That'll be interesting to see how fast he can go. Now, Eric Jones, no stranger to making playoffs and stuff like playoffs. Oh my goodness, fast qualifying thingamajiggies and stuff. You have Eric Jones, who, secured the pole for the Daytona 500. Unfortunately, not much didn't really come of that, but hey, it was something. So let's see how fast Eric Jones can be today. In general, we see, it's always nice to see where everyone places after a bit of after some fast laps. So Eric Jones actually on his first full qualifying lap. It seems that these drivers, they spend the first few laps warming up the tires, and then by lap 3 they're at their peak in the session. Then after that, tires fall off a little bit. But really, it's all about just being as fast as you can. Well, Cole Custer, as I hadn't really noticed, Cole Custer. Oh my goodness. Cole Custer set the first lap of the day, but Eric Jones about to set another lap, or set his first lap of the day, and top of the board for Eric Jones. Actually, Kevin Harvick just behind him got a slightly faster lap there to start this session. Kevin Harvick, he's been a bit quiet. Oh, is he? Yeah, drivers find this course a bit challenging. But the session has only started, so we'll see where everyone is, you know, once we have some proper times in. Okay. So now we come to some second laps. It's like Cole Custer, though, retains his fastest lap in this session. So Cole Custer, no slouch today. Cole Custer in a little bit of traffic right now, actually. He's starting out encountering Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch. Not the best situation if you want to set some fast laps. He's in a bit of a sandwich with Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney. Traffic might be a bit difficult to deal with, but hey, that's just the nature of group qualifying. And to be honest, it doesn't matter how many overtake or how many people you can overtake. Most important part is, in fact, you know, being able to go fast at all. As Kevin Harvick, now the fastest qualifying session. Actually, Haas car is taking up first and second in this session at the moment. Ooh, for a bit though, is Oliver now your fastest driver in this session as he messes up this corner a little bit. Messes up that corner very badly. That's kind of the really Xbox nerd that was on by. He was currently 7th fastest in this session. Although Cole Custer back to the fastest in the session. Kyle Busch actually 2nd fastest in the session now. Meanwhile, the real Xbox nerd who won just last week at Calder Park, trying to make haste around this here. Although he's back in 10th, though, he's gonna have to pick up the pace a bit. So you said his fastest lap time in the previous lap. Oh, he's slightly slower this time. Oh, dearie me. Also, David Albert to the top of the board. All right, quite impressive stuff from him. Oh, he's gonna get beat out by Cole Custer, though. Russell David right now the 2nd fastest in this session. Let's see if he can keep that title. You know, Russell David really hasn't been the best driver this season. I'm sure it would be absolutely fantastic if he could just fast track straight to the A-main. Because even if you go to the A-main, you're still going to get a decent amount of points. So Russell David isn't quite able to beat his fastest lap time that time, but still 2nd on the board. Meanwhile, Savannah Motorsports teammate of Floyd DeBobbin, now currently in the final transfer spot. Alright, well, we're 4 minutes left in the session. So, let's see what happens from here. Nia's, well, currently in 6th. You know, Nia, she's been a bit of a journey woman in this whole Australian, this whole down under stretch. I mean, she doesn't really do anything at Winton, but then she goes to Sandown, almost wins, blows it with 2 laps to go. Then she goes to what's it called? Goes to Calder Park the following weekend, and I mean, you would think she would be able to, or at least able to make an attempt to make a comeback, but nah, wasn't even affecting the equation last week. Well, let's see if she can be at least somewhat affecting the equation this week by qualifying in the A main right off the bat. Looks like lap times aren't really changing though. Yeah, it seems late in the set and late in these qualifying sessions, the drivers they just settle into, you know, where they went into. As the case with Cole Custer. Kyle Larson up the second fastest though. And yeah, she's actually falling out. Oh dear. For the Bobbin though, also making haste. He's now in 6th, so right now both the Bob Motorsports cars safe to make it to the A main for now. Although was for the Bobbin getting a bit beat by other drivers. Ooh. Ryan Blaney as well for the fast lap time. He's 3rd fastest in this session. Ooh, Forty Bob's got to pick up the pace, though. He's in a pretty dangerous position. So, Frointel Bobbin, right now in the final transfer spot. So, he's in a pretty vulnerable position. Oh, he falls out of the transfer spot as Kurt Busch at a fast lap time. So, Frointel Bobbin going to have to pick up the pace, so he's going to have to wind up going to the B main. Which, I mean, it still isn't the worst, but that means he's still going to have to come home with a pretty decent finish in that, and that's a bit of a tall order, all things considered. So for the Bobbin, right now outside the final track spot, but can he make up a little bit of ground here? No, it doesn't look like it. Wow. Perhaps if you stayed off the grass, you could set a fast lap, but now it looks like those tires are getting worn out now. I think ultimately Frointel Bobbin destroyed his chance of making it to the A main. I mean, he can still make it. You know, for say if he finishes high enough in the B main, which probably wouldn't even be that much of a challenge for Frointel Bobbin, he's still gonna make the main event. Meanwhile, his teammate Russell David, though, who again hasn't been the fast driver all season, is now in a pretty clear position to make it straight to the A main. So that's at least good for Russell David. At least he'll get another good finish out of this one. Russell David's actually been a bit of a streak of getting good finishes here in Australia. That's where the Bobbin completely messes up this corner. But Russell David, he's had a recent streak of actually getting some pretty good finishes. Yeah, last weekend he finished top 5. Weekend before that he finished top 10. And I don't remember how good he did at Winton, but he must have been pretty decent in the race as well. Oh, Ryan Preece though! Preece with a very fast lap time up to 4th. That's going to knock Russell David down a spot, although the session's almost over. So, not really much time for Russell David to get booted out, but Ryan Preece, that's a very fast lap time up to 4th. Meanwhile, Frointel Bobbin not even on the top 10 now. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Luckily for Russell, he gets booed down a spot, but that's okay. As long as he's in the top 8, he is safe. And since the session's almost over, not much time for Russell to get booed. Alright, another 30 seconds left. But Cole Custer, after he said it's the fastest lap time of the session, he's held his position. So Cole Custer's done very well in this session. Lewis Foxer's another driver who's nowhere near up here. Wow. Alright, so let's look at these results. So Cole Custer with the fastest time in the session. Along with Kyle Larson 2nd, Ryan Blaney 3rd, Ryan Preece 4th, Russell David 5th, Oliver in 6th, Brad Keselowski in 7th, and Purser in 8th. So those are the guys gonna fast track straight to the A main. But then you have everyone else. So you got Eric Jones in 9th, Kurt Busch in 10th, Fernando Bob in 11th, Duck in 12th, William Barr in 13th, Nia 14th, Kevin Harvick 15th, Kyle Busch 16th, Mark Stewart 17th, Chase Elliott 18th, Don 9th, the Rick Splitter in 20th, and Tyler Reddick in 21st. Wow, so some drivers who've been on a bit of a win streak recently are now the slowest drivers in the whole thing. Well, that's gonna be quite something. Well, anyway, that is going to conclude qualifying. So now it's time to get into some racing action, starting with the E-Main. So that will be coming up next. Alright, here we go with the E-Main to start today. So in this one we have Rick Splitter starting in first, Tyler Reddick in second, Donald third, and Quinn Houff in fourth. Alright, so this race is going to be more of a sprint. Top two drivers. Moving on to the D-Main. And green flag is in the air for the E-Main at Baskerville Raceway. Rick Splitter getting a bit of a flyer, but Tyler Reddick trying to stick behind. It's amazing me that these two guys are in this race. Tyler Reddick, Rick Splitter bends the corner, which will allow Tyler Reddick to gain a spot, and Tyler Reddick now to the lead. And Donald completely messed up the corner. Quinn Houff as well trying to get up here into this. Tyler Reddick pulls away with the lead. It's now Rick Splitter versus Quinn Houff. Quinn Houff doesn't run all of the races, trying to make it into the main event. Well, at least make it as far as he can. Right now, Tyler Reddick beginning to set sail. Rick Splitter is well holding his position. It's gonna be interesting. So Tyler Reddick pulls away. It seems every race on the Australian strike or the down under strike has had a bit of a climbing corner. This one here, as Rick Splitter, all three drivers actually messed up this corner. Rick Splitter overdrives the corner. That's allowed Quinn Houff to get up a spot. Man, this is quite something for the Rick Splitter. I mean, just last week he went to Keller Park, and now he's very slow in qualifying. And now he's at the lowest of the tier, lowest tier race imaginable. And Quinn Houff, man, Quinn Houff is about to beat him. Quinn Houff, who's also very slow in qualifying, trying to do this one. One up to go in this one. Quinn Houff right now has the spot over the real Xbox nerd, so the Rick Nerd in a very dangerous position into not making the main event. Here we go to this corner again, and Tyler Reddick, he drives the corner again, but at least stays on track. But this time, Quinn Houff is the one. Quinn Houff severely messed up the corner. That's going to give a position back to the real Xbox nerd, who is now might be trying to chase down Tyler Reddick. Alright. And Tyler Reddick now leading this one, but Richard trying to stay close behind. It's amazing me that two previous winners from this season are all the way back here in the E-Main. But they are now on their way to moving up a bit more. And Tyler Reddick is going to come across the line to win the E-Main, and the real Xbox nerd comes home in second. Alrighty. Pretty good for those two. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the D-Main. But that's the other day now for Quinn Houff and Donald. Then again, well, Donald completely messed up the corner on the opening lap, and Quinn Houff, we were really expecting too much out of him, as he's a pretty slow competitor on most weekends. Right, now with that out of the way, let's bring on the D-Main. Alright, now it is D-Main time. Starting in first for this one is Chase Elliott. Second is the Xbox Nerd. Third is Tyler Reddick. Fourth is Kevin Harvick. Fifth is Gridrin. Sixth is Mark Stewart Jr. Seventh is William Byron. And eighth is Kyle Busch. So, a slightly longer race. Slightly bigger amount of drivers. This time, though, it's going to be top three making it into the next race. And green flag is in the air for the D-Main. It's got a couple guys that made it into this one, starting up front. Bit of RG Chase Elliott trying to stick with everyone else, and okay, here we go through the calamity corners. Brooks to completely mess up the corner. It's a disaster for him. And Chase Elliott pulling away. And not in the third. It's Richard messes up the first corner, but Tyler Reddick up the second. Alright. So Chase Elliott now leading in this heat, in this D main. Surprised to Chase Elliott's this far down here. But we'll see. And I only know both drivers who made it into this race by way of the E main are now, well, second and fourth. As Chase Elliott, and Tyrek bends to the corner as well. And Chase Elliott completely messed up the corner. He's going to allow Gridgen to get up here. Man, Gridgen has been struggling all season. And he's struggling in qualifying. Now here he is. He's taking the lead due to everyone else's mishap. Around the real Xbox turned into a bit of a battle with Chase Elliott. And he gets around Chase Elliott. Wow, so the two drivers that made it in here by way of the E main might be the ones that make it to the C main. So if the real Xbox Series is going to try to score just that little more points, because the better you do today, the more points you're going to get at the end. As Gridgen messed up the corner. Ooh, not spectacularly though. Rooster though, as he gets into it with Chase Elliott a bit. Oh dear. A bit of a race for the win between these two. Now you don't actually score any points by winning in these first two main events. That's reserved for the C main and the B main. But Gridgen doing a pretty good job at pulling the lead over Tyler Reddick. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick now up here in third. Got 3 laps to go. So Gridgen's been struggling for quite a bit. I'm sure he'd like to win something as he overdrives the corner though. Overdrives again, that's going to allow Tyler Reddick to overtake him for the lead. Like we said, as long as these two stay in the top 3, they're going to make it. I'm sure Tyler Reddick would like to make it. I mean, how embarrassing would it be for a Daytona 500 winner to, a few weeks later, is all the way at the lowest of the lowest. And Tyler Reddick started out in the E main, but I'm trying to progress up one step further. No, Kevin Harvick. Now getting chased down by Chase Elliott. Yes. No pun intended. So Chase Elliott trying to, get a step up. I mean, Chase Elliott, he's pretty high in points right now. I'm sure he would like to keep it that way. But the only way he's going to keep it that way is if he can progress into the next race. As Kevin Harvick messes up the corner a bit, Chase Elliott going to go try to go side by side with Kevin Harvick. He's got to be a bit quick though. Race is almost over. Yeah, Chase Elliott's going to have to find somebody to get a run on Kevin Harvick. Meanwhile, the real Xbox nerd, he's outside the final transfer spot. 2 positions back, actually. And he's going to need a miracle now. 1 lap to go in the D main. Chase Elliott trying to keep up with Harvick and make up an extra spot. And Kevin Harvick messed up the corner a bit. And Chase Elliott with a clear overtake. Gridgen as well messes up that corner. And Chase Elliott now actually trying to chase down Gridgen for a second. But Chase Elliott is now into the final transfer spot. Now just running out behind Gridgen. And Tyler Reddick, who made it into this race by way of the E main, is now going to come around and is going to win the D main and progress into the C main and have a better shot at racing in the main event. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott will make the final transfer spot for this event, and Chase Elliott will progress on to the next one. Unfortunately for everybody else, though, their day is done. So look at the results. So Tyler Reddick wins the race with Gridgen comes second. Chase Elliott third. Kevin Harvick fourth. The real Xbox in fifth. Mercer sixth. Kyle Busch in seventh, and William Byron running the field in eighth. So, oh dear. So for some of these guys, it's over a little bit earlier than they had hoped, but that's just the nature of this heat racing. So, now with that done, let's bring on the C main. Alrighty, it is C main time. So this one we have Chase Elliott starting in first, alongside second is Gudrun, third is Nia, fourth is Duck, fifth is Matt Bandano, sixth is Frank DeVobbin, seventh is Tyler Reddick, eighth is Joe Lagon, ninth is Ricky Shelshire, and 10th is Dangerous Hicks. So once again, field size increases, and so does the number of laps. Alright, question now is who makes it into the next round? I'm going to find out as green flag is in the air for the C main. Gudrun gets a bit of a flying start, and with help from his Soas Motorsports teammate of Nia. Nia trying to make a bit of a comeback as Nia's going to try to make it 3 wide a bit. Ooh, a little bit too wide as Nia now messed up the corner, runs out of room on the racetrack. Actually, a few guys in the back are going to mess up the corner. It's a complete disaster for some of these guys. Wow. Any caution? I can't tell if that's a caution. No caution, okay. Okay, let's go back a bit. We apologize for that. And yeah, so some guys completely messed up the corner, including Fointo Bobbin. Wow. Oh dear. Come back up here, Gudrun out about with Chase Elliott. Yeah, look at him. And Gudrun now leads in this heat race. I mean, this main event. It's a main, not a heat. Alright, so this time it's going to be top 4. I forgot to mention top 4 drivers are going to be making it into the B main. So right now top 4 is Gudrun, Chase Elliott, Matt Benedetto, and Nia. Alright, so Nia was pretty slow in the qualifying. It's like now I'm messing up my sessions. Here she is now on her way to making the B main. Gudrun messed up the corner a bit. Matt Benedetto. Oh, there's front of Bobbin. Ooh, bit of a crash. Oh dear, it's a disaster in front of Bobbin. Oh man, it's not how bad. It's getting even worse. As now it drapes with Gudrun. Chase Elliott gets into these guys as well. That's actually going to allow Nia to get a bit of a speed onto the corner. They're going to go 3 wide to this corner here. Look at that. And Gudrun messes up the corner and goes wide. And now Nia in a side-by-side battle with Chase Elliott. Look at that, Nia trying to use the things that she learned this time. Hopefully doesn't let the pressure get to her. I mean, yeah, you definitely don't want to let the pressure get to you in this one. This one does count for a bit of a point. Of course, to finish in the top 4, you will progress into the next round. And Nia now in a pretty safe position to do that, now in running in second. Although we still have a little bit in this race left to go. I mean, it's not much, but it's going to go by fast. But at the same time, it goes by a bit slow. Alright, so he comes in through this corner. Oh, she bends it. Oh, dearie me. Chase Elliott trying to get some ground on her as Matt Bandano now pulling away for the lead. Tyler Reddick now in the final transfer spot. And Tyler Reddick, this is the 3rd round that he's progressed into. And Tyler Reddick, he might... Ooh, yes, indeed. He might go all the way to the B main. Wow, man, that's amazing though. Tyler Reddick started all the way at rock bottom. Has now progressed through 2 races. And might progress through 1 more. If he can stay in the top 4 in this one. As there's now a battle second between Chase Elliott and Nia. So you have a guy who actually won the first career race quite a bit early in the season. And they have Nia, who almost got her first career win a couple weeks ago. And you see he's now looking for redemption. Oh, bends the corner though. That's okay, as long as he stays out of Chase Elliott in the top 4. Matt Bandano also messed up this corner. And Tyler Reddick completely bends that corner. That's a disaster for her. As now Chase Elliott and Matt Bandano going side by side. Matt Bandano going to pull ahead. Nia keeping her ground in 3rd though. She's still in a somewhat safe position. As now Matt Bandano getting rumbled by Chase Elliott, who's trying to chase her down or chase him down for 2nd. Look at that. And Chase Elliott trying to chase down Matt Bandano. This is worth 1 championship point, by the way. Halfway through the race now. As Chase Elliott trying to keep up with Matt Bandano. Matt Bandano slides into the corner a little bit. And Matt Bandano, ooh, manages up the corner a bit. It's like he's developed an Australian accent for a second. As Nia now moves up to 2nd. You know, Nia though, she's not really a stranger though to winning in these short sprints. You know, I mean, Nia, she still has yet to win an actual race. However, she has now a couple wins in the shorter sprint races. So can she catch up to Chase Elliott? And, you know, as she beats Chase Elliott, she also grabs the extra championship point. Meanwhile, Duck, who's pretty high in the point standings, now under fire, under attack from Gridrin. And Gridrin, who's had an trophy season himself, now trying to gain up an extra spot. Now get through the colliding quarter once again as Chase Elliott doesn't do that bad in this one. Neither does Nia, however. Chase Elliott, though, can't go get the final corner down, or the falling corner down. That's going to allow Nia to make an extra spot. And now they're going side by side to this corner, which is allowing Matt to back down, could catch up a little bit. But Nia, though, can't quite. Nia trying to go deep into this corner on Chase Elliott. Now they're going side by side on this little section here, this little straightaway. And Nia not giving up. She really wants that victory. And Nia is going to stick it in deep going into this corner. And Nia, now with the overtake on Chase Elliott. Still hasn't cleared him, though. A little bit of contact is made. Chase is going to lead this lap. 2 laps to go in the C main. Nia now wanted some serious fire, though. Now gets stuck in the outside lane. Gonna get overtaken by Matt Badell here, and actually the field getting quite dicey here. Matt Badell gonna have the inside, Nia gonna have the inside line. Matt Badell. Oh, but Nia messed up the corner anyway. That's gonna cause a couple of spots. As Chase Elliott will also mess up the corner, and Nia now in a very dangerous position. Gets side by side with Duck and Nia. Oh man, throwing the ball on a lap down car, really messing up. Ah man, Nia once again letting the pressure get to her. As Matt Benedetto now pulls away into the lead, and Chase and Gridgen now up into third, and now you have Duck now into the final track spot. Oh man, Nia completely binned it. Oh man, what is it with Nia getting when the pressure get to her? Still have one more lap though. There's one more chance for everyone to completely mess up the race. One more lap to go in the C main. Matt Benedetto leads for now, but how much longer can he keep this lead for? You know, as he goes into killing the corner a bit. Gridgen also trying to get a pass on Chase Elliott. So here comes Matt Benedetto to this corner here. Matt Benedetto once again overdrives the corner as Gridgen going to get side by side with Chase Elliott. Meanwhile, Nia, oh man, she completely messed up the corner. Well, that's the end of Nia's chances of making it into the next round. As Matt Benedetto now with the clear lead, and Chase Elliott, under fire from Gridgen. But that's okay because these top 4 here are going to progress into the main event, and unfortunately for Tyler Reddick, he hasn't done that good in this race either, so that's going to be the end of the day for him. But the top 4 now split between front and bottom of a lap down car, and Matt Benedetto going to come on the final quarter to win the C main. All right. Well, unfortunately, none of the drivers from the E main remain in this one, but it is at least a pretty solid day for these top 4 as they will now progress into the B main. It's going to be interesting to see how they do going into that. Anyways, yeah, with that in mind, it's going to be official standing. So, Matt Benedetto comes up with the win. This one, Chase Elliott in second, Gridgen third, Duck fourth, Tyler Reddick in fifth, Nia in sixth, James 6 and 7, 3 associate, 8, Julie got 9th, and Freund Bobbin, who had an absolute disastrous start. Freund Bobbin, the man himself, is not going to be in the B main, which is very unfortunate for him. But, well, that's just the nature of these races. So, with that in mind, let's bring on the B main. Alrighty, it's time for the final qualifying race. It is time for the B main. This is where things are going to get really interesting, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing what happens in this one. So, starting the pool for this one is Purser, alongside him. Second is Eric Jones. Third is Chris Buescher. Fourth is Clint Boyer. Fifth is Gridgen. Sixth is Matt Benedetto. Seventh is Danny Hamlin. Eighth is Chase Elliott. Ninth is Kurt Busch. 10th is Brad Keselowski. 11th is Douglas. And 12th is Duck. Oops. Right. So, top 5 drivers this time. Alrighty. Let's see who can come out on top on this one. And green flag is in the air for the B main at Baskerville Raceway. Just like getting a bit of a flyer on this one, but Eric Jones trying to stick with him as well. They're going side by side with each other through the first corner. There you go through the Calamity corner as Eric Jones going to overdrive this one. Look at those, he's most of the field made it through this one quite clean. As Purse is going to pull out in front, and here is Chris Buescher ahead as well. Oh, Eric Jones though gets to the back bumper. A little bit early to do that. Have a whole 10 laps before, you know, someone makes it. And Chris Buescher. Now up here. And Matt Bennett, who made it through the previous round, now up here in 5th. There's still a bit of a ways to go in this one, as Purserp leads them for now. Oh, I messed with the corner a little bit. And he also messed up the falling corner. That's enough for these other guys to get through. Is Garrett Jones and Chris Buescher now side by side going into this corner here. Let's see if Garrett Jones can get around Chris Buescher. And there's also an extra 3 championship points. Yeah, Garrett Jones still trying. He's gonna lose out to Chris Buescher this time though. Alright, here we go through Clinton Corner once again. Chris Buescher leads them, and Garrett Jones. Ooh, side by sideness. Garrett Jones, however, with the pass for the lead. Oh, they're still side by side going to this corner though. Garrett Jones trying to find a way around Chris Buescher. But he's gonna give in this time. So Chris Buescher gonna get another lap. Chris Buescher isn't the highest driver in points. He's gonna try to change that if he can make it into the main event. Which, to be fair, is a bit of a tall order in itself. Oh, Garrett Jones overdrives the corner a bit. Chris Buescher, however, doesn't. And we retains that position. Ooh, although Guido and Denny Hamlin. Wait, where's everyone? What the heck happened? This is weird. There's a giant separation. Not quite sure what happened. Hang on, someone must have. Oh, big crash here. A crash on the front straightaway. Chase Elliott, and the caution is out in this race. I completely missed it. What a big disastrous crash on the front straightaway. First crash that we've seen today, and it's a big one. That explains how the field was so separated. We'll look at that crash in just a little bit, but for now we're going to just see who makes it back to the line. Is Chris Buescher going to lead them through here? Matt Bendel and Denny Hamlin completely messed up the corner, but that's okay, as those two drivers are now far away. The guys behind. These are top 5 at the moment as they're going to make their way through here. Of course, we're under the caution, but of course, this is the race back to the line, so we're going to see how it winds up for these guys. Doesn't look like it's going to really change, though. Alright, we've got Chris Buescher, Garrett Jones, Purserp, Matt Bennett, and Denny Hamlin. The 5 fastest drivers. It's not likely going to be safe. Although, now with the caution and the restart, that's going to make things a little bit interesting. Wow. So let's reverse time a little bit and just see what happened. So you saw it for yourself, though, happen on the front straightaway. A pretty big accident, actually. I didn't expect that to be a thing. So let's actually go back a bit. And, this came out right there on the front straightaway. So let's work out what actually happened here, because that was quite a big accident, actually. So it started out. Let's see who started. It looks like it was. Man, the field just got really jumbled up here. It's amazing this isn't clearly in the top 5. So it looks like it starts with Clint Bowyer. We're gonna go in the helicopter camera to see this one from above. So Boyer's just racing, and then Gridron gets to his outside, but then Gridron gets into Clint Bowyer in such a way as Clint Bowyer steps out, and now there's just no saving it as everyone else tries to make their way around. But Chase still got the worst if it gets stuck into the wall. Oh, dearie me. Quite the big accident. That's actually going to be the end of the day for some of these guys. So Clint Bowyer, he's likely going to be out. Gridron's going to have some damage. And Chase Elliott, who got stuck into the wall. That's officially the end of the day for him. Man, point for Chase Elliott. And such an important race too. Because mind you, this race will decide the final 5 spots for the A main. I mean, we've come this far. We've eliminated so many drivers. So now it's come down to these 5 making it into the A main. Well now. So it'll be interesting to see what comes next. So let's now fast forward a little bit. As they had to get together on this curve. So there wasn't any contact, just a little, just got big, sorry, small bumps. Alright, Smithfield catching up. So the top 5 looking to stay out, but then you have everyone else from behind who's probably going to have to pit to repair the damage. Yeah, Denny Ham's staying out. We're just staying out. Actually, everyone's staying. Okay. I thought they would have to come into pit road to fix the damage, but I guess not. Or maybe that's what they're going to do next time by. Yeah, maybe I was wrong. Oh no, lights are out. Wow. Never mind, that was everyone's chance to pit and they didn't take it. Okay, I guess these guys are confident that they're gonna still have the car to do something in this race. I mean... okay, I guess. Oh no, fast forward again. So that's arguing on the pace car, so we'll restart with 4 laps to go in this B main. Maybe didn't quite expect there to be a caution to interrupt this race, but well, such is the world of motorsports. Alright, so we're gonna be single file. So right now you've got Chris Buescher, Eric Jones, Purser, Matt DiBenedetto, and Denny Hamlin in the top 5. So these 5 safe to make, well, not safe to make the races yet, but they would be if they can finish in this position. Alright, anyways, with that in mind, green flag is back in the air, Baskerville. Eric Jones actually goes on the inside already of Chris Buescher. Eric Jones though on the high line. That's gonna be He's going to do the calamity corner as they completely bend the corner. That's a bit of a disaster. Not a big one though. Although Grid's gonna spoil the party here, as he's now getting into the final transfer spot. Or not quite. Not top 5 remains much the same actually. Oh, Denny Hamlin, he fell out as all that opening lap. Meanwhile, Purser now in a battle with Eric Jones. And Purser going to succeed, and Eric Jones will lose a couple spots here actually. He goes side by side with Gridron coming here on the front straightaway. He has to go in the B main. Eric Jones and Gridron side by side. So he's going to have the advantage here going to Calamity Corner. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin making his way back up through the field. And Eric Jones goes wide, but so does Purser. Eric Jones stays on track this time, though. Denny Hamlin, though, messes up the corner. That might be the end of his day. We have got a couple Solus Motorsports drivers going at it for second. Chris Buescher, though, with the lead. Alright, so Chris Buescher's got a bit of a gap now for the lead. So he has to just navigate the track 2 more times. And he will be secure into the main event. Yep, this is it. So Chris Buescher, is that gonna get a corner? Not bad. Who does a little bit, but he stays on track from here. Purser though, not so lucky. But remember, top 5 drivers are the ones making it to the next round, or well, making it to the final, making it to the main event. You know what I mean. So Chris Buescher holds them off for now, again. And Matt DiBenedetto now in the final transfer spot. Although he's under attack from Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer, who actually got involved in the crash that happened earlier today, he's got a severely crunched rear bumper, is now trying to chase down Matt Benetto. Final lap in the B main. Let's see how they do up front here. Yep, Chris Buescher just had to navigate this corner one more time. It gets into the grass a bit, but he's gonna keep his position. And Chris Buescher looks like he has it made. And Clint Boyer, who's gonna make his way around Matt Benetto, and Clint Boyer, who got involved in the crash that happened earlier in the race, is now in the final transfer spot. And Clint Boyer, who has weaved his way through the pack, is now in the final transfer spot. And Chris Buescher is though going to come across the final corner to win the B main and will succeed in making it into the race itself. And Clint Boyer, with a broken rear end, makes his way through the pack and is now going to race in the main event itself. Alright, well, we've had some sprints, but that is going to conclude the qualifying races for today, and next up will be the main event itself, the race you've all been waiting for. We've had quite the interesting events so far today. So, Chris Buescher will win the B main with Gruger coming home second, Eric Jones third, Percival fourth, and Clint Boyer around the top 5. Those are going to be the guys who will race the Ultimate Challengers into the main event itself. But as for everyone else, it is the end of the day for them, with Matt DiBenedetto coming home 6th, Brock is also 7th, Doug 8th, Kurt Busch 9th, Denny Hamlin 10th, Douglas 11th, and Chase Elliott around the field in 12th. Right, time to bring on the main show itself. Alrighty, so now after all that, we've done qualifying, we've done some heat racing, well, heat style racing you might say anyways, but it is time for the main itself, the main event itself. This is the TasNetworks 350 at Baskerville Raceway. So, with that being said, let's give you a starting grid for this race. So in the pool for this one is Cole Custer, long time second is Austin Dillon, third is Tim Tom, fourth is Kyle Larson, fifth is Ryan Blaney, sixth is Christopher Bell, seventh is Ryan Newman, eighth is Jimmy Johnson, ninth is Alex Bowman, 10th is Rebecca, 11th is Bank Coaches, 12th is Ryan Priest, 13th is Eric Gamrola, 14th is Russell David, 15th is Oliver, 16th is Bob Walls, 17th is Chris Buescher, 18th is Gridron, 19th is Percival, 20th is Eric Jones, and 21st is Clint Boyer. Oh, there's something really weird with that. Huh. Yeah, something with these pit boxes. I don't know if that's just an illusion or something. Well, guess we're gonna go into it. Anyway, so with what we've been through today, this event is sure going to be an interesting one. I will say that the pit road glitch kind of worries me a bit. I hope that's just a visual error. Something that for some reason everything just failed to load in properly for the start of this one. By the way, I just wanted to say, no Frointa Bob in this race. Yeah. After all this, this is the main event, a big time race. This is the race. This is where everything counts. This is for points. This is for victories. This is for sausages, and there's no Frointa Bobbin. It's kind of amazing how just wasn't that fast in qualifying. It seems. I mean, well, he could have still saved himself by being fast in the qualifying races, but unfortunately, he just couldn't quite close the deal at the end of the day. But now, after all that, we have narrowed it down to the 21 drivers who were able to close the deal, and a lot of the guys were able to close the deal early by qualifying, fastest 16 drivers from, the 2 qualifying sessions, plus the 5 drivers that made in by way of the B main. And actually, Gridron's been a bit of a journeyman today, because Gridron actually started out his day in the D main, has now progressed through 4 races to race in this big event. Oh, I say big event. It's the big one. Anyways, so pace car has pulled off. I hope that glitch on pit road doesn't really mean much. And green flag is in there for the TasNetworks 350 at Baskerville Raceway. Clint Boyer off to a bit of a flyer, and Austin Dillon, who was surprisingly fast in qualifying, is now going to challenge Cole Custer through the first corner. But here we go through the Calamity corner. This is where everything's going to go really badly for a bit. Most guys survived, and Cole Custer though pulls out with the lead off of that corner. Meanwhile, Tim Tom up here as well, and Austin Dillon, who actually didn't lose that many spots, he's going a little bit nuts, but right now he's surviving. Anyway, Tim Tom though trying to keep up, and Christopher Bell now in a side-by-side battle with Austin Dillon, who lost a couple spots due to his miss up on the first corner. There you come through this particular corner here. Chris Bell though going to gain another spot on Austin Dillon. It's kind of amazing to me how fast Austin Dillon was in qualifying. Anyways, after all that, Cole Custer, the rookie, is going to lead the opening lap. Yeah, so Cole Custer, of course, in his 19th start here in the Skittles Cup Series. It's actually been a little while since we've last seen Cole Custer up here. You know, he looked good at Homestead, and then he was pretty decent in some other races. But well, let's see if this is the first one where he puts it on the table. Actually, got a bit of a gap on the guys behind us. Tim Tom now trying to follow behind Cole Custer. So Tim Tom, he's already got one win here down under. Trying to go for another. Guys doing everything he can to keep up with Cole Custer. Yeah, you might see all the pit boxes have managed to get on pit road. That does worry me a bit. Maybe it's just a visual error. I don't know. I hope it's just a visual error and not something that's going to mess up with the race. Speaking of messing up, Cole Custer and Tim Tom both messed with the corner, and Tim Tom actually lost a bit of ground. Cole Custer and Christian Bell and Kyle Larson going to try to keep up. Tim Tom though holding his ground for now. And Cole Custer with a pretty decent lead on the pack now. Meanwhile, everyone behind going nuts. It's going to be interesting to see what this event eventually comes down to. Alright, so Cole Custer's still leading. Just navigating the track. But, yeah, it's early in the race. Ooh, driving into the grass a little bit. Time being, he is safe. Oh, Kyle Larson, though, going to gain a spot on Christopher Bell, who've been in the corner. Actually, these two now going side by side through this corner here. Kyle Larson trying to keep up with Christopher Bell here. It's a bit dicey, though. But ultimately going to keep it. The field's starting to spread out a little bit. And the caution's out. Doesn't take very long. The caution's out for the first time of the day at Baskerville Raceway. This car has been deployed. So we'll see what happened to cause this caution. It's definitely interesting. 5 laps in, already a caution? Well, let's see what happened. So right about here. Oh, dearie me. Russell David and Jimmy Johnson looks like they got to deal with each other. Let's have a closer look here. Wow. Come on. Wow, so you have Russell David trying to get around Rebecca, and Jimmy Johnson completely messed up the corner. Actually gets into Rebecca, he gets into Russell David, and they spin around. Oh, man. Wow. Well, it's still early in the race, so these two can still recover as long as Jimmy Johnson cannot cannot get into the tire barrier. Come on. Was it Russell David, though, going to make it through? Jimmy Johnson, though, kind of having an issue with the tire barrier here. Well, let's hope he can find his way through that eventually. So let's look at that again. So it looks like Rebecca, though, who is ultimately the one who, was the ultimate cause of the accident. So let's look at this from Rebecca's point of view in the helicopter cam. So it looks like Ah, so it looks like so it was Jimmy Johnson who was just coming off the corner, then Rebecca who just touched in the wrong way, and Russell David who was there at the time that Jimmy Johnson was going around. Wow. So Rebecca caused a bit of a double whammy. Not something that happens every day. Well, we'll see if Jimmy Johnson can recover from that one. Wow. Quite the turn of events. Well, we're only 5 laps in. We already have our first caution of the day. Russell David, a bit of a fan of Jimmy Johnson. It's kind of rotten luck that happened to occur. As Jimmy Johnson now just reaching the end of the tire barrier, so Jimmy Johnson finally going to be able to take his car back to pit road, albeit with, I say pit road is, Well, let's see how pit road works. As Jimmy Johnson, yeah, now he's finally freed himself from that incident, just having to come around and see what he's not gonna pit this time by though. Okay, this feels he's now just shuffling into position. So how many takers? I don't think anyone's pitting. Then it is only lap 5. Oh, Russell David coming up pit road. Not really surprised considering what happened earlier. Yeah, looks like a bit of mixing in those pit boxes. I think Russell David the only one coming up pit road, so he's fine. Jimmy Johnson's staying out. Right. Well, we'll line them up and go again. Well, the rest of the field pretty much is staying where they have been. So he's in last, but with how small the field size is, though, that's not really going to be too big of an issue. You know, Rebecca, though, she's been absolutely atrocious this season. And now she finally has a good chance of having a good points day. And she gets into it with a couple of Chevy drivers. Rebecca, she's got a bit on her hands, you know, because Nia, who, you know, has been looking for redemption ever since her mess up at Sandown, Nia not even in this race. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes of this race. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit. And we'll go back racing. So Cole Custer, though, he's led every single lap so far since the start of the race. Let's see if we can keep it here. Alright, here we come onto the front straightaway. And green flag back in there at Baskerville Raceway. Ooh, Tim Tom trying to get around Cole Custer at the start of the restart. Yeah, start of the restart. As Clint Boyd gonna mess up the corner on 4. Well, that's gonna be the end of his. Well, he didn't lose that many positions, so I don't know. As Tim Tom though going to overtake him for second. Tim Tom now your leader at Baskerville. Seems Tim Tom is finally turning around his season. Bill Bell amongst the rookies for second, though. Christopher Bell trying to get into it with Cole Custer. Yeah, look at him go. Yep, Christopher Bell trying to find a way around Cole Custer. And Cole goes over to the corner, so does Tim Tom. And Cole Custer really messed up this corner. And Tim Tom does. Wow. It's tandem. Tom, two drivers both messing up as Christopher Bell now trying to find a way around Tim Tom. Going side by side to this corner here. Christopher Bell keeping up. Look at that. And Christopher Bell hanging behind Tim Tom for the time being. Well, Kyle Larson trying to make his way up to the pack. To the field. Also, Dylan, he's had a pretty decent day. You know, he started up in the front row. Still in fourth. And Tim Tom bends the corner though. That's gonna give the decision away to Christopher Bell. You know, it's amazing how long it's been since. Oh, Tim Tom! What is this with the high-speed run on the top lane? Tim Tom mowing the lawn a bit. That's gonna cost him a couple spots. And he mows the lawn again. What? Ah, man, Tim Tom is going absolutely nuts here now. Bit of side-by-side action now. Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney get into this action. Austin Dillon going to pick up another spot, and Ryan Blaney as well on the inside of Tim Tom. Meanwhile, Cole Custer trying to get into the action as well. Look at this. Ryan Blaney, your points leader, getting into it with these guys. Look at that. And Tim Tom now trying to do the crossover maneuver as Cole Custer going to run wide. Quite a bit of action here as Tim Tom now getting around Cole Custer. I mean, as I'm now messing up everyone's names. And Tim Tom gets into a bit with Ryan Blaney. Oh man, this gun actiony now. Also still gonna lose a couple spots though. And now a side-by-side battle for the lead. I kind of missed on this one. Let's go back a bit though and see what happened. So Christopher Bell, who messed with the front corner, now Kyle Larson now going at it with Christopher Bell, but these two still not giving in to each other as Christopher Bell hangs on the high line of Kyle Larson. Now to come through this corner here is Kyle Larson now a bit around now side by side on this straightaway. But Kyle Larson gonna have the inside lane here. He's likely gonna be overtake Christopher Bell, and yes he does. Kyle Larson now your leader at Baskerville Raceway. Christopher Bell, though, not giving up just yet. As Kyle Larson now drives the corner. Again. Looks like Christopher Bell might have the pass here. Now it's still side by side. Wow, now it's a reversal of what we just saw earlier. And now Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson going on once again. And Christopher Bell going to try to have the inside lane. No, he can't quite keep it, though. Kyle Larson going to have the position here. Meanwhile, Bell for third. Ryan Blaney and Tim Tom going at it. And Ryan Priest as well. Trying to get into it with these guys. And Ryan Priest right to the back end of Tim Tom. Meanwhile, everyone in front here. Kyle Larson. Now these three getting pretty close to each other. As Ryan Blaney bends the corner. And meanwhile, these two still in it for the lead. Now once again, it's Christian Bowe trying to find a way around. Kyle's going to lose it here, though. Meanwhile, these are really having a bit of a day. Where's Jimmy Johnson, by the way? Oh, he's still back there. Meanwhile, Russell did a bit of a sitting duck. Man, that crash really didn't do well for him. Unless he messed up at some other point. Yeah, no. Yeah, Russell was saying some slow laps. Wow. I think the crash was that bad, but oh dear. Yet another misfortune for Russell David in this season. He just hasn't had the best of luck. He started out pretty well making the race right off the bat, but unfortunately that's died. Still race for the lead though between Christian Bell and Kyle Larson. And Ryan Priest makes another spot. And Cole Custer trying to keep up as well. And once again, these two still trying to rip into each other for the lead in this race. Yeah, Kyle Larson once again. Seems every time a driver is on the outside lane, they always mess up this corner. Speaking of which, Ryan Preece completely messes up this corner. That's all Tim Tom and Cole Custer to get by. As they're now having their own side-by-side battle. And Tim Tom still trying to keep up with Cole Custer. Quite a few rookies up here, actually. You know, it's kind of amazing. 2 of the rookies, or 3 of them, actually a lot of them, make it straight into the A main based off of being fast in qualifying. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick, he was so slow, he was all the way back in the E main and made it up to the D main, but fell out after that. Actually, no, he made it to the C main. So, I mean, Tyler Reddick tried to keep up, but ultimately couldn't. As he's just still going at it with each other for the lead. Yep. Kyle Larson not giving up. Right, well here we go through this corner here again. And Christopher runs wide. Now side by side. Actually, yeah, there's gaining more of a gap from behind them. Now we haven't really seen these two encounter each other very much this season. This is a bit of a first. These are also 2 previous winners from this season as well. Oh, Kyle Larson's first season, it wasn't too long ago. He actually won the first race down under, back at Winton. You know, Christopher Bell, his first win was a long time ago. In fact, he won the opening race back at Will Springs. I've talked about that so much at this point. Like, I'm waiting for Christian Bell to do something else rather than just leech off of his win at Willow Springs. Which, I mean, it isn't really a big deal. Because unless you're actually going to make the playoffs, your win doesn't mean anything. Yeah, that's the arch nature of the series. Unless you win, unless you make the playoffs, your win means nothing. And actually, Bell and Kyle Larson's wins from the season, those don't really mean anything as of right now, as they're outside the playoff bubble. Chris Bell actually way below the playoff bubble. So he's got some work to do. Now the next quite a few races. Kyle Larson does too, though. I mean, he only got his first win not too long ago at Winton. What's he doing? Got a bit of spread out on the field behind as Ryan Blaney now pulling away from everyone behind them. As Ryan Preece trying to keep up. You know, all 3 road courses that we've been to so far in this stretch down under, they've all had one corner that, you know, everyone bends now and again. You know, Winton, Sandown, now here. Well, the race got a bit more tame now, as drivers behind still mess up this corner. Ryan Preece actually lost a couple spots. Now Tim Tom and Cole Custer going at each other for I'm not sure what position this is. I think it's 4th. Hey, look at the gap though. Ryan Blaney's lost a lot of time on these 2. Really, the field as a whole is just getting more spread out. Well, I'm not sure about pit stops in this race. Then again, we're not quite at the halfway point just yet. As Ryan Preece almost gets into it with Cole Custer. A little bit of 3 wide RG-bargyisms going on. As Cole Custer now we're attacked by Austin Dillon. And Austin Dillon actually has the preferred lane on Cole Custer. He's got to give in though. So Austin Dillon still keeping up with Cole Custer. Yeah, it's quite a gap though between first and second, and then the rest of the field back. So this race might just come down to these two. Unless of course some crazy action happens between these two. I mean, there's still plenty of time. Like, there's only the 21st lap of the race. We still have quite a few. I can't count, but quite a few laps left in this race. Might have his position changed for 4th as Brian Blaine messes up the corner, which will allow Tim Tom to pick up an extra spot. It's still far off from the leaders though. Speaking of leaders though, not cool. What happened to Kyle Larson? He just became really slow. Wow, he was behind Christopher Bell and just messed with the corner so badly. He just couldn't keep his car in check. So you've got a couple winners from the down on the stretch as well, doing pretty good. I mean, you've got Kyle Larson who won at Winton, and Tim Tom. Well, then you go to Tim went from Sandown, but unfortunately no real Xbox Nerd in this race. Then again, Color Park is a pretty different track from, the two that we've raced on so far. I've raced on a couple of road courses. They went to Noble, and now we're back on another road course. And Kyle Larson actually had a bit of a gap now on Chris Bell's about a lap out of the gap on Thingy. Because now these two going at each other once again. Ooh, Ryan Blaney. Getting deep in on Tim Tom. Tim Tom actually runs a little bit wide. That might cost him a spot here. Yeah, Ryan Blaney staying ahead of Tim Tom. So Ryan Blaney took back the points lead after Cala Park, I think it was. And Ryan Blaney's only going to extend his points lead over Fronia Bobbin, who won't even have a chance to do anything. Although, he messed up the corner again. Once again, it's Tim Tom trying to get the edge. Ryan Preece watching with interest. I feel it's only a matter of time until Ryan Preece gets his first win of the season. I mean, we're 19 races in. He's looking pretty good in this race as Tim Tom gets around Ryan Blaney. Holy moly, Preece might have a spot on Blaney. Nope, not quite. Not quite, I'm afraid. Well, here comes Glenn in the corner once again. And Tim Tom grabs the corner. Keeps the spawn on Blaney for the time being, though. Yeah, Ryan Blaney really not ready to give up this position. He's going to try to send on Tim to go to this corner, but can't quite get deep enough. You know, top two is spread out quite a bit. Surprised they'll get to catch up to Russell David, though. Put him a lap down. I know, but I saw Eric got roll pit road, so pit stops might be happening in just a bit. So Tim Tom, once again, gonna mess up the corner. Gonna trade a spot with Brian Blaney. I have a hunch that pit stops are gonna happen soon. So, don't be rude for the leaders, though. So Chris is both starting to pull away. It seems as these two keep transitions. Ryan Preece just can't seem to do anything. I mean, how long until these two mess it up so royally that Brian Preece is able to pick up a couple spots? Oh, since pit stops. Well, I say it since pit stops. Maybe that was just a thing that I allowed to do. And NROL wants to incur some damage. He's a couple laps down, actually, so... maybe Eric NROL not so much pitting for tires or just a service, he's pitting because some damage. Oh, Ryan Preece gets around Ryan Blaney. Look at this. Wow. So Ryan Blaney gonna mess up a spot, or mess up this corner so badly that Ryan Preece gets the spot. That being said, however, man, these guys up here, they've lost so much ground to the top two. I don't think they're gonna have a chance at winning this race unless, again, these two just have an accident or something. That's gonna take quite a bit. Well, anyway, at the moment, so far, we only have 2 repeat winners, I think. Yeah, being Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney. Chris Bell trying to become the 3rd repeat winner of the season by scoring a 2nd win. That'd also be a 2nd win on a road course, because Bell got his 1st win on the road course. So Chris Bell so far has won exclusively on road courses. Well, that's if he wins today, of course. I am surprised how long it's taking for Chris Bell to eventually keep up or catch up to Russell David, put him a lap down. Not that we want to see Russell David a lap down, but seeing how slow he's going, it's inevitable. Can't see when that happen though. I'm sure a number of people were rooting for Russell David to do well in this one. Unfortunately, it's gonna be another 20th place finish. How unfortunate. There's every bit of hype around Russell David though after he made it through. Yeah, I mean, qualified right off the bat, but ever since then though, yeah. Well, Blaney I think picked up, or Blaney picked up a spot on Ryan Preece once again. And Blade because it's on Tim Tom. At this point, this is the battle. Unless Kyle Larson can catch up to Christopher Bell. Yeah. So the field's gotten pretty tame at this part of the race. I think we're only halfway through. There's still quite a bit left. So you never know when disaster's gonna strike. It's Christopher Bell's down pit road. There we go. That was the end of the one I was waiting for. Looks like pit stops are on the way. As Kyle Larson overdrives this corner. But pit stops are occurring now. At least for Christopher Bell. I suspect it won't be too long until these guys come down the road as well. And Carlos comes down the road. And so does quite a few of the other front runners. Okay, good. It's just a visual thing. Thank goodness. Alright. So, Kyle Larson, first one on pit road. Oh, Christopher Bell's coming back around, though. I'm gonna speed up a bit. And Kyle Larson exits pit road. And here we go, roll! Oh, no! Disaster! That's what I was talking about. And the caution comes out. Wow. Wow, indeed. Wow, that is just... I mean, you saw yourself. Disaster for... well, I'm not sure what was going on. But NROL just not being very smart about this. And now Eric NROL going for quite a slide. He was already having a pretty bad day, and now it's going from bad to worse. He's now in the middle, seemingly in the middle of nowhere. Wow. So Eric NROL having to drive through the grass, try to find his way back to the racetrack. Oh. That's an invisible wall. We'll turn Kyle Larson a bit, but I just want to see what Eric NROL can do here. Yeah, he's gonna make it through. It's kind of entertaining, actually. So, that's NROL. Let's see now. Let's see this from Kyle Larson's predicament. I don't think they're gonna lose too many spots, though. Alright, so pit road. Service the car, and they exit. So Larson does have a slide. But that being said, it's not really going to cost him. Only loses a couple spots here. I think the caution saved him, actually. Wow. A very lucky escape for Kyle Larson. That could have been much worse for him. Lucky for him, he's only going to lose a couple spots. You know, with the research, you're going to make things interesting. Once the restart happens. So Christopher Bell, who had the lead, or well, I mean, gave up the lead, but he's gonna have the lead back though. Let the pit stop cycle through. Right. So since pit stop has already happened, of course, no one's gonna go back down pit road again. Except for maybe NROL, since he had some damage. So this has been quite the event so far. That field's gonna be all bunched up again. So this is really gonna turn this race quite the direction. On the flip side, though, for Russell David, he's not going to go a lap down now. Tim's on pit road for some reason. Next thing now, this is supposed to be like where everyone comes down pit road. Russell David coming back down, though. He actually made it to 12th somehow. I think that was because he didn't pit. Right. Oh, let's run the pace car, so we're going green next time by, so Phil Bond's got to speed up a little bit as we're about to go back racing. Yeah, they're catching up. Oh, what's this? Tim Tom being scored for first. That's she's a bit incorrect. Well, maybe that's just because of what's happening right now. NROL back up pit road. Russell David is sitting here on pit road as well. Well, maybe they're gonna go a lap down after all. Right. Well, with that in mind, let's see what happens on the restart. So Christopher leading them as of right now. Alright, here we go. See what happens. And green flag back in the air of Baskerville Raceway. And Ryan Blaney already trying to get a launch. He sticks it underneath Christopher Bell. Here we come through Calamity Corner where that all could go to waste. Yep, over the corner again. And lose a couple spots. Not a ton of spots, but a couple spots. As Ryan Preece is now lurking behind Christopher Bell. But Christopher Bell, though he had the lead on the restart, already doing a pretty good job of keeping that lead. But here comes Ryan Preece, who's still looking for his first career cup win. But he is now behind Christopher Bell. That's trying to catch up. As of right now, though, Christopher Bell leading them off on this lap. They override the corner, though. That's what they want to do here. As Ryan Preece especially messes with the corner, that's going to cost him. And now Ryan Blaney trying to keep up with Christopher Bell. So the leaders leaving right where they left off. You know, from when we went under caution. And Christopher Bell is trying to go for that second win. Yeah, Ryan Blaney though lurking behind. They all mess up the corner. Oh, that's gonna cost Ryan Blaney a bit. Oh, it's gonna cost him. Oh man! Oh no! It's spinning. Contact. Contact was made. They're only 3 wide per second into the corner. This has got really interesting as Ryan Preece making it around. Wow. Man, let's keep this belt for now. Ryan Blaney though going to succeed this mission, but let's see that again from a different perspective. That could have gone much, much worse. Let's go to helicopter cam. Oh, we almost had a repeat of a similar accident that happened earlier. So let's see what happened. So Chris Bell onto the dirt, the grass, and then Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson get each other, and they bang and beat and all this stuff. And now Ryan Blaney goes very wide. That could have been much worse for these guys. But Ryan Preece is going to succeed and make up 2 spots. Still a mystery who's going to come out on top. Here's Austin Alex Bowman trying to get into the action. And Christopher Bell pulls away. But still, this is still isn't over. As we approach Calamity Corner once again. And Chris Bell revs the corner, and so does Ryan Preece. Oh, here we go again. Ryan Preece almost gets to the back end of Christopher Bell. And that allows Ryan Blaney to take the lead. Ryan Blaney, it's been a little while, but he's trying to go for his 4th win of the season. Very behind though, still not giving up as Kyle's going to lose a couple spots here. As here is also Dylan and Alex Bowman. Man. And Preece trying to get around as well. Alex about to go side by side to the first corner. Here we come through Calamity Corner. What's going to happen here? So Ryan Blaney leads them for now. As he comes through this corner here. And he overdrives the corner again. So does Christian Bell, and Ryan Preece going to capitalize on this. And Ryan Preece makes up another spot on Christopher Bell. Ryan Blaney leads them still. It's now the Ryan and Ryan show. As Ryan Preece still trying to keep up with Ryan Blaney. It's getting pretty close now. He's about to approach Calamity Corner once again. Here we go. Ryan Preece looking for a chance to overtake. And Ryan Blaney gonna mess up the corner. And he really messes up now. Ryan Preece now to the lead. First time that Preece been in the lead since Homestead a little while back now. But Ryan Preece is going to succeed. But it still isn't over. Also Dylan actually looking right behind Ryan Blaney. Also has been quite fast today. And Freightliner power really helping him out, it seems. Here we go through Calamity Corner once again. Ryan Preece has the lead for now. We got a bit of a gap, but well, that gap could quickly go away. And he overdrives the corner a bit. Gets back up pretty quickly. Not as badly as Chris Bell and Ryan Blaney though, as Austin Dillon is going to try to pick up a spot. Austin Dillon now side by side with Ryan Blaney. Has now become battle for 3rd. Yep, Austin Dillon still trying to head to the inside lane, and Austin Dillon now side by side with Ryan Blaney. They might lose a little bit of ground here on the straightaway. No, Austin Dillon staying with Ryan Blaney. And Austin Dillon picks up a spot on Blaney. Austin Dillon off to 3rd. And Ryan Preece pulling out a bit more. This race still far from over. Once again, arrives the corner, but he's got a bit of a gap on Christian Bell this time. So no change for position now. As Ryan Preece staying ahead of Christian Bell for the time being. Let's see what Bell can do about it. You know, they're still battling. Battling once again now for 3rd as Ryan Blaney trying to gain a spot back on Austin Dillon. Yeah, Blaney picks up, gets back around Austin Dillon. Man, oh man, there's so much left in this race. Literally, anything can happen between now and the checkered flag. Ooh, Ryan Preece getting to the grass a bit as Ryan Blaney really messes up now. Oh, he's going to lose 2 spots. Alex Bowman trying to get around him. Alex Bowman, none of the drivers had a pretty trash season. Now trying to do good for the first time. I mean, he's going to have to. I mean, I think he's the only... Oh, no, there's also Jimmy Johnson in this race, but Jimmy Johnson not quite doing so well for himself today. As Ryan Preece continuing to build a gap on Christopher Bell. Yeah. So take a massive mess up now. And Alex Bowman now trying to get around Ryan Blaney once again. Ooh, Ryan Blaney almost off track. Well, the gap is increasing as Ryan Preece continues trying to pull ahead of Christopher Bell. Some were thinking it was gonna come down to Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson, but then that caution came out and that really changed the outcome of this race. Oh, Ryan Preece though really messed up the corner. Yep. And now Christopher Bell trying to get back around Ryan Preece. As I said, you know, when you think all is said and done, something else happens. As now Ryan Preece gonna lose the ground that he got ahead from Christopher Bell. And Austin Dillon also might try to get into this action. Not really, they see Austin Dillon up here, but ooh, he's trying to turn into a legit contender now. As Ryan Preece really messed up the corner. He's now going to allow Christopher Bell to get side by side with him. Ryan Blaney also really messed up the corner, as you see in the background. But the race is on between these two. Ryan Preece. Preece looking for his first career cup win. Whereas Christopher Bell looking for his second. That being said, I think Fort Bottom would much prefer Ryan Preece to win this race. As Jason Motor Racing is getting some of that support from Tobal Motorsports, which is why Ryan Preece is able to race so well. That being said, we haven't seen Ryan Preece up here too much. But now, 19 races in, and Ryan Preece looking to be a legit race winner, race contender. Although, as you can see, he's messed up that corner. Ooh, Christopher Bell almost gets to his back end. That could have been much worse. Meanwhile, Austin Dillon, he's hanging back there in third, looking to try, waiting for these two to mess up. Well, it's coming down now. 9 laps to go this time by. It's Ryan Preece and Christopher Bell. I said there's still time for someone to mess it up in Calamity Corner. And Ryan Preece, but unfortunately for Austin Dillon, he really messed up as well. As Christopher Bell going to pick up a spot now. Ryan Preece though not giving up. There's still so much time left in this race. Imagine if these two both crash into each other and Austin Dillon winds up stealing the race win. I mean, just imagine that. Eight laps to go. Still anyone's race. At this point, it's come down to the top three. As Christopher Bell messes up. And if he wants to have a shot at racing for the win, he's going to have to stop doing that. Oh, wow. Okay, that might be the end of him. As these two going side by side with each other, Ryan Preece. Side by side with Christopher Bell. As he goes down with this corner. Preece though might lose out on Christopher Bell. Yeah. Preece sends into the corner. And he takes the lead. 7 to go. It's really heating up between these two. Also, Dillon, he pretty much cost himself the race win after he went through the grass. But it's not over yet. As Ryan Preece overdrives the corner, allowing Chris Bell to pick up a spot. Priest, though, really into the grass. As Christopher Bell takes back the points, the race lead. The points lead. Pretty far from that, but as for the race lead, though, he's really trying. Austin Dillon actually not too far back, all things considered. But you just never know. Six to go. It has now come down to Christopher Bell and Ryan Preece. But Austin Dillon still lurking as well. As Christopher Bell and Ryan Preece both mess up the corner that time. And now they really mess it up. Austin Dillon makes up the ground that he lost. And Austin Dillon picking up a spot on Ryan Preece. Wow. Tandem messing up. As Austin Dillon now trying to find a way around Ryan Preece. Austin Dillon, a driver that we don't usually see running up here, is now trying to go for the win as Austin Dillon makes his way around Ryan Preece. And Preece losing that spot. Austin Dillon, who was fast in qualifying and is now fast in the race, the few times that we've seen qualifying pay off this season. It's still a bit of ways to go. They go for the lead. As Bruce Bell gonna mess it up. And Dillon gonna lose a spot. No, they're still going side by side for second. It's still side by side between Ryan Preece and Austin Dillon. Side by side on this straightaway here. Oh, but Preece gonna give in. Austin Dillon gonna keep the second place position. And Christopher Bell holding that lead. You know, Christopher Bell was good early on. He was good before the caution. He's still good after the caution. Our folks team can't be said about Kyle Larson, but at least Christopher Bell still in the hunt. 4 laps to go. Christopher Bell has a bit of a gap now. But it's not over until it's over. Into the grass. Doesn't lose too much ground though. Austin Dillon does lose ground. As Ryan Blaney picks up that spot for second once again. But Christopher Bell now leading at Baskerville Raceway. I've talked about Christopher Bell and how he's got that win at Willow Springs. And it's been quite some time since then now. It's been quite some time since Christopher Bell last won a race. And Christopher Bell trying to not become the next Trevor Bayne and prove that his win at Willow Springs wasn't just a one-time thing. And Christopher Bell at yet another road course, but much further away from where he got his first win. As you know, he got his first win at Willow Springs, which was in California. Now, he's a long way from there, racing on the island of Tasmania. So, Christopher Bell in a much different place in the world, but in much the same spot that he was back at Willow Springs as far as the race positions. That being said, however, Ryan Preece still trying to look to find a way around Christopher Bell. 2 laps to go. We are almost there as Christopher Bell just has to hold on for 2 more laps to hold off Ryan Preece for the win. And the two messed up the corner a bit. Now they really messed up, both of them way off the track. But that's okay, because Christopher Bell still has the lead. He's got 1 lap to go this time by. So, not too long ago, a certain young driver was in contention to win, but then blew with 2 laps to go. Christopher Bell trying to become the 3rd repeat winner of the season and trying not to let the pressure get to him. He's already done it once. 1 more lap to go at Baskerville Raceway. 1 more lap for Christopher Bell. He's had to just navigate the track 1 more time. This hasn't been the most chaotic race in the world, but still been an entertaining show. And 1 more time through Calamity Corner as Christopher Bell drives it a bit deep. And Ryan Preece, Ryan Preece exited that corner better than Christopher Bell, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Ryan Preece just not close enough to the back end of Christopher Bell, as Ryan Preece watching a potential first career win slip away from him. But for Christopher Bell, on his way to getting his second career win, and one more corner, and Christopher Bell will come across the final corner to win the TasNetworks 350 at Baskerville Raceway and get his second win on the season. It has been quite some time, quite the decline for Christopher Bell ever since his win. But now he's back on top today. In his 19th start in the season. It comes at yet another road course for Christopher Bell. And funnily enough, he got the first win in this Ream paint scheme. So Ream is now 2 for 2 with wins with Christopher Bell. So that is quite the showing from Christopher Bell. After all this season of struggling. I'd say he didn't actually look that bad last week. Just last week at Calder Park. But that's okay because Christopher Bell is now on top for the second time in his Cup career. That comes to yet another road course. Well, I guess now it's time to go for finishing positions as a whole. So, you have Christopher Bell, of course, winning the race with Ryan Preece coming in second, Austin Still in third, Kyle Lawson fourth, Preece fifth, Grugin sixth, Ryan Blaney seventh, Alex Woodman eighth, Cole Custer ninth, Chris Bush 10th, Oliver 11th, Eric Jones 12th, Bo Walsh 13th, Ryan Newman 14th, Tim Tom 15th, Ben Kogi 16th, Rebecca 17th, Jimmy Johnson 18th, Clipboard 19th, Will Steven 20th, and Eric NROL around the field in 21st. Well now, that was quite the day of racing here at Baskerville Raceway, but that is going to do it for today. And with that being said, we have one more race of this one in the Strikes Down Under, and it's not actually going to be in the country of Australia. But still Down Under, so that counts. But that's going to be the end of today racing at Baskerville Raceway. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.